Why you need to ignore women in your early 20s to mid 20s. In this video, what I'll be covering is I'll be covering why you need to go against all pickup, all red pill, all game, all cold approach advices and videos and YouTube channels and content creators and influencers जो तुम्हें ये सिखाते हैं, who teach you how to approach women, how to pick up women, how to pick up chicks when you don't have any money, when you don't have any resources, how to cold approach as a college teen, how to cold approach as a young guy. I'll be telling you, what I'll be teaching you in this video is to why you need to completely ignore all that BS. You heard me correctly. You need to avoid all that BS for good, and you need to focus on your own life as a man. What are you building towards? Even today, when I talk to young guys, when I talk to young people, they have that belief system in them, and they believe that, when they complete their graduation, when they complete their post graduation, when they complete their high school, they think and they feel that, okay, they'll get a 10 lakhs per annum job. Okay, they'll get a 15 lakhs per annum job. How should I explain it to them that, boy, there is no 15 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakhs per annum job as a fresher. As somebody who is freshly out of the institution of college or school, you will not get such money in INR, in Indian rupees. You will not earn such amount. You will not earn this amount in your when you are starting a job. But people live in delusions. People love to live in their bubbles. People love to, basically live a deluded life. I can't do anything about it, but definitely through my videos, through this channel, The Composed Meal, I can spread awareness about it. This is the least I can do, right? Rest, people who are willing and who want to burn themselves to the ground, they are most welcome to. I can't do anything about it. So let's begin. Most men spend years chasing validation and attention from women. For those guys to, basically come under the attention span of women, for women to notice them, this is their objective. Approval from women, friends, girls, co-workers, trying to look the most cool in any social event or gathering, attention from others, the feeling of being wanted by people and desired by women, both in their younger years, in their early 20s. Nobody gets that. Now again, I'm not talking about basically alpha chad guys here, that 6'2", 6'3" guys who from the time they are born, they get the attention of everybody because they are exceptionally genetically blessed. I'm not talking about those guys at all. I'm talking about you, the person who is watching this video, who is not so much, maybe not genetically that much gifted, or who is not, the socially the most adept, right? By the time they look up, the window for compounding, for growth, financially, professionally, and personally, all of them have closed. This video is about why that happens and what to do instead. Today, we're going to talk about the high leverage years. Abhi leverage kya hota hai? In my previous videos also, I have covered a lot about what is leverage. You can go and check those videos out. I'll be, pinning the cards in the recommendation sections of the, on the top right corner, I'll be pinning those cards. High leverage years, your 20s and early 30s, what they actually are, what they are worth, and the priority stack that turns them into the foundation of a genuinely free life. This is the composed meal. Let's get into it. Let's go. Here is the most important thing that I can tell you about your 20s and early 30s as a man, as a young man, as a young G. These years compound differently than other years. Most people understand compound interest as a financial concept. The earlier you invest, the more it grows because returns build on more returns, and this is a vice versa cyclical concept. What most people have never applied that concept is to each and everything else in their life also. This is not only just attached to finances. This is not only just attached to money. It is attached to other things as well, bro. Skills compound. Your ability to do something at 22, trained consistently for 15 years, becomes a superpower at 32. Let me repeat that once again. Your ability to do something as a man at 22, trained consistently year on year for 15 years, becomes a superpower of yours at 32 that cannot be replicated by anybody else who is starting at 35. Reputation compounds. The work you put out compounds. It doesn't reset, it accumulates over time. Physical capability compounds and then declines. The foundation you build in your body now, today, at this point of time, determines what you have available for you at 40. And here is the thing that matters most for this video. Financial independence compounds. More than one income stream built seriously throughout your entire high leverage years. So now what are the entire high leverage years? The entire high leverage years are from 20 to 30. Growing at the rate of consistent investment and iteration becomes something qualitatively different at 35. The man who treats his 20s as compounding years is a completely different person at 35 than the man who didn't. Not slightly ahead, categorically superficially different than the rest of the crowd, the rest of the men who wasted their entire fruitful years, the younger years, the high leverage years, chasing women, people, partying, traveling, boozing, smoking, all these things. Now, let me come to the section of the actual cost of distraction. So, what is actually consuming these years for most men? The honest answer here is romantic pursuit of validation. Oh, I'm in love. I love this girl so much. My ass. You don't love anything. You are just in the delusion of emotions and feelings and the emotional, hormonal cocktail, which is bullshit. The pursuit of romantic validation as the primary organizing principle of daily life destroys young guys' lives. Not real relationships with your loved ones, not friends, not family, not true brotherhood, not a community, not a tribe. I'm not talking about these things. These relationships, true brotherhood, community, a tribe, having friends, having loved ones, are valuable. They increase your value as a man. Not genuine human connections, those are worth building deliberately. What I mean here is the pattern where the question, how do I get more attention from the opposite sex, from the opposite gender, sits at the center of most decisions. How I dress, how you dress, where I go, what I post, what I spend, how I present myself is the only things, these are the only things which you are focusing on. When the question is central, everything else orbits around it. And everything else, that means your skill sets, your financial trajectory, your physical growth, your mental growth, your actual identity, who you are as an individual, as a person. Here, the cost is made concrete. Every hour spent in reactive pursuit of female validation is an hour not spent in the compounding activities that produce a genuinely valuable life. This is just how it works. And here is the part that makes it worse. The man who has built nothing is the man who will always, for the rest of his life, operate from a perspective of scarcity, from a perspective of less, from a perspective of shallowness, from a perspective of loss. And scarcity produces desperate decisions always in a man, always. The irony is this: the man who prioritizes his own development for 5 years and stops chasing validation becomes the man who no longer needs to chase anything else. Build that version of you first. Everything else follows from that position of choice and variety, not need or not want. Now, let's come to the next section, the priority stack. Now, what do I mean by a priority stack? Here is what the high leverage years should be organized around instead. Four priorities in this order. Number one, financial independence. Financial independence should be your primary target in your early years of your life. Not wealth as a status symbol, not a number that impresses people, the removal of any form of dependency. No boss, no, basically no provider for you, no mandatory fixed schedule, no income capping that stops the moment you stop showing up, which is the exact description of a job, of a wage slave. This already, again, the concept of wage slave, I have covered in my last upload, which is the video which I uploaded before this video. Definitely do go check it out in my channel. This is the target. Everything on this list serves as the target. What I told you just now. Coming to number two, the skill stack that produces leverage in 2026. The ability to put something out in the world, the ability to create something from scratch, the ability to generate something without consuming anything. I.e., it can be also content creation, it can be art, it can be creativity, whatever you are good in. Content creation, marketing, branding, promotion, the ability to sell anything to anyone that reaches people without your physical presence to be around. AI and software literacy, not casual use, actual capability exploration. The ability to build tools, automate processes, and create products that work while you sleep. Sales and persuasion, the ability to get people to care about what you do. This is the skill underneath each and every other skill. Because at the end of the day, even if you are into content creation, marketing, branding, and promotion, you still need to sell your services to others. That will come under sales and persuasion. Financial literacy, understanding how money moves, understanding how money works, understanding how money is printed, how to keep it, and how to compound it and make it work for you. Number three, physical and mental foundation. The man who is physically capable, emotionally regulated, and mentally clear is simple and much more productive than any other man standing beside him. Much more resilient and much more capable of building at the pace, the compounding year, the golden years, the compounding younger youthful years require. This is not vanity, this is infrastructure. Coming to number four, identity before relationships. The man who has not yet built a clear sense of who he is and what he is building will consistently make decisions from the point of neediness, scarcity. Build yourself first. Not because relationships don't matter, because the quality of every relationship in your life is determined by the quality of man that you bring into the interaction. This is very, very crucial and important. Here is the piece most self improvement content skips. Discipline over impulse is a skill set, not a personality trait, not something some men have and others don't. It is built through repeated practices of choosing the long term action over the short term comfort. The specific trap for young men is emotional decisions, emotional dependency, emotional turmoil made from scarcity in their own lives because of their own actions. Chasing approval, seeking validation, making choices based on fear of missing out. These are the decisions that most consistently derail your own compounding years as a man. Because every time you choose the short term emotional hit over a long term trajectory growth, you are not just wasting one afternoon, you are building and training a pattern repeatedly. And your this pattern, knowingly or unknowingly, will become your identity sooner or later. The composed man is not cold, he is analytical, logical, and pragmatic and chooses what serves him the best. He feels what he feels and still makes the choices that serves where he is going in the long run, not in a short term. That gap between the feeling and the action is where the character actually lives, what you build in your golden years. And it is built in the high leverage years or not at all. Now, coming to the point of what financial freedom actually is. Let me define the target one more time because I think most men have a vague version of it that doesn't actually inspire them to take daily action. Financial freedom is not a lifestyle, it is not a number in your bank account, it is not what your apartment looks like or what car you are driving. Financial freedom is this. The morning you wake up and there is no mandatory place that you need to be for somebody else, that morning is true actual financial freedom achieved for you. And this is no easy feat, let me tell you. Many people think, okay, I'll just complete my degrees, complete my certifications and take a job. It's so easy, it's so nice. Buddy, it doesn't happen like that. This is why I make these videos, to make you understand and to make you realize it doesn't work this way. It doesn't happen like this. You need to put in years and years and years of hard work, pain, and sweat to reach at a position where you're not answering to anybody at all. No boss, no upper regulations governing your time, no governments governing you, no employer whose mood determines whether you do that job or whether you stay in that profession or not. This is the goal. This is what we are building towards. This is what I am building towards. This is what I would want you to build towards. Please, please listen to me. And in 2026, The path to that is more accessible than it has ever been due to everything becoming online. Online income mechanisms scale without you in today's date. Content earns while you sleep. Software tools built once can be used thousands and thousands and thousands of times again and again and again and again repeatedly. Service businesses built on skills that didn't exist 10 years ago. But today they are available for you. You have that access, you have that capability, you have that information which you can learn and apply and implement. The barrier of entry has never been any lower than what it is today. What has not changed is this: it requires the high leverage years to be treated like what they are, not a warm up, not a time to figure it out, the compounding period. Most young men will look back in their 20s and see the years that they spent chasing things that didn't compound. A small number will look back and see the years that they built something that changed every decade that followed. The difference between those two men was not talent, not luck, not circumstances. It was how they answered one question every single day, which was, what am I building? What am I building? What am I building today? Start answering this question today, not next month, not when it feels right, today. More love, more life, and more compounding, deliberate, chosen days to come. I wish this on you. Discipline, clarity, daily growth. Subscribe if this is the kind of man you're building towards. This is the composed mail. More love. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Take care.